Welcome and thank you for joining us for this edition of the Youth Intervention Journal. I'm Ben Hale. I'm glad to be joined at the top of the show, as I am on every show, by Paul Mainier from YIPA, the Director of Services with YIPA. And Paul, thanks for being here again with us this month. And later in the show, we're going to be talking with some folks from Family Pathways. We look forward to that. But first, we're going to talk about something we've kind of been talking about a little bit in the last several shows, and the opportunity for programs, youth intervention programs across the state to finally apply for some of this new funding that was approved by the state legislature this year. And this process is being run through the Office of Justice Programs. And can you just kind of give us a little bit of an overview now where we're at this point, and finally people are actually being able to start to apply to maybe get their hands on some of this money?
Yeah, Ben, as always, it's great to be here. It's been a long process, but we are at the point now where the Office of Justice Program has taken the money that the state legislature gave to the Youth Intervention Program grant at the last legislative cycle. If you remember, we went from $1.5 million a year to $2.5 million a year for these agencies throughout the state that all do some sort of youth intervention programming work to be able to apply for this grant. And we are at the point where they just released the RFP, or the request for proposals, yesterday. So organizations are starting to collect their data and write their proposals and submit an application. We think that we're going to get swamped with applicants from all over the state because there's a lot of pent-up demand to meet the needs of the kids out there.
And there's a 30-day window where people can submit their proposals from July 23rd to August 23rd. Do you have any idea of how many proposals you think might come in and how many requests for funding the Office of Justice Programs might see?
I don't have an actual number. My guess, maybe 100 to 150, but keep in mind that there'll probably be only about 20 that will get funding, the new funding for the money that just came in. So proportionately, it's certainly not enough to be out there, but there's going to be a lot of people competing, and it is a competitive process. The people that can show the greatest needs and come up with the criteria the best are the ones that are going to get awarded the funding.
And it looks like this is, there's some funding set aside, like you said, for new programs, and some funding specifically for expansion of programs that are already serving but could serve more kids. Is that kind of the way it's laid out in here?
That is correct. Right now there's 47 grantees that are members of YIPA that are already receiving the funding. The beautiful thing that we were able to work with the Office of Justice Program, if those organizations just want to keep their level of funding, they don't have to go through the competitive bid process. But if they do want to achieve additional funding, then they have to go through the whole process. So yes, there is an ability for a current grantee to get more money, but we're also looking for new grantees from different parts of the state to be members.
And this is a really thorough process, and it looks like these programs will really be vetted before they're just given a check to try something. And in here, there are 6 different outcomes that are laid out by the Office of Justice Programs, and I just wanted you to kind of touch on a couple of them and how they really impact the area of youth intervention. And specifically, they list that they want the grantees must address and effectively measure at least one of these outcomes in their grant, things such as increasing a youth's independent living skills and increasing their decision-making skills and their conflict resolution skills. These seem like things that really will make an impact in the area of youth intervention.
I think so. You know, it's really important. And we work closely with the Office of Justice Programs, and they want to see these outcomes just like the Youth Intervention Programs Association, YIPA, does, because we want to show that this stuff works. We just went through the 3-year survey, very intensive, statistically valid survey that showed that these outcomes work, but we need to be able to show the community, we need to be able to show the legislators that all these things do work. And things like you mentioned, like improved independent living skills, better decision-making kind of processes. All those things are what members of the community that are productive members of the community know how to do pretty well. And so we need to make sure that we are measuring the things that are going to be deterring or deciding if these youth are going to turn out to be productive members of society. And we think if we can meet those 6 things, that will certainly give them a boost in the right direction and probably get them on the path to being a successful and happy and adult.
And just so folks know, the other ones are develop and maintain relationships with positive and caring adults, increase school attendance, and reduce participation in illegal activities. And did you?
Yeah, I just want to say one thing. You had mentioned that they have to measure at least one of those. And the reason that it's in there like that, you would think it would make intuitive sense you'd have to measure all of those. The problem with youth intervention is that we have such a diverse group of people doing different kinds of work out there. They work all the way from kids that just need mentoring to homeless youth to kids in park and recs departments. And some of those things are just impossible for some organizations to be able to measure. A lot of our organizations will do 3 or 6 of them, but there are some where they just work with a very specific targeted group in a very specific targeted way that they can only measure one of them. But we are collecting data on all 6, but not all of them have to report on each one of those.
And another important thing in this process and in this grant proposal process is that the organizations can't just ask for money from the Office of Justice Programs, from the state money. They also have to show that they have a community of supporters behind them financially.
That's
and
right.
Having a local match. And how does that work?
Originally, when this grant was set up a long time ago, Skip Humphrey was the driver of the Youth Intervention Program grant, and he wanted to make sure these organizations are viable in their own community. So they have to be able to show a 2-to-1 match. So if they're applying for, I'll just make up a number, $5,000, they have to have $10,000 from their local community before they can get anything from the Youth Intervention Program grant. And we think that's a valuable thing because we don't want these programs. We know that youth intervention works best when it's community-based, when there's a local buy-in, when the business leaders, the Chamber of Commerce, when the local organizations, the local elected people all support this. This is where we get the best outcomes. One of the things that you talked about as a measurement is a meaningful relationship with an adult. Regardless of what kind of youth intervention these programs do, at the core of everything in youth intervention is the ability to connect with a youth and give them inspiration and hope and a belief system that they can become productive members of society. So whatever the intervention is, that is a common thread. And being able to show your community that you can do that and get that money first is really important. We also know the return on investment. In the past shows, we've talked about the social return on investment study that YIPA commissioned, the first ever in the country, that showed that there's a $5 return for every dollar invested. And if you couple, and that's just for youth intervention in general, but if you couple the dollars with this 2-to-1 match, essentially you're getting 3 for 1. So the return on investment is really $15 to 1 when you're talking about state taxpayer dollars that they're getting. So you and I, Ben, in a very small sort of way, invest in this, and we're getting a 15-to-1 return on our investment, and that's a good investment. You can't find that in the open market. Unless you're some sort of savvy stock trader, maybe you know where those are. I don't know where they are, but this is a good place for me to be spending my money. I know that.
And it'll be interesting to see in January is the time when this funding will become available. So the process will work through, the grants will be given, and then in January the money will become available. So it'll be interesting to see how many programs are able to be served by this funds and what new programs come up all across the state. But we have to leave it there because we're out of time for this segment, but it was interesting to hear kind of where we're at, and now really the rubber's meeting the road with these grants, and that will be interesting to see the outcomes. So Paul, thanks for sharing with us that, and when we come back, we are going to visit with members from Family Pathways and learn about their organization. We'll be right back on the Youth Intervention Journal.
Cotton balls, duct tape, spoon, needle, thread, scalpel.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Everyone has friends. There's online friends, friends to go out with on a Saturday night, friends to hang out with and do nothing, friends who show up on moving day. And then there are the friends who'll be there if someone is dealing with a mental illness. Are you one of those friends?
North Metro 14 is your channel. Everything we show is made by people just like you. Amateur TV producers using our free, state-of-the-art equipment. Want to get started? Take our free classes in studio production, professional cameras, and computer editing. NMTV also offers free equipment checkout for our cameras, lights, and microphones. Everything you need to make your own TV show. For more information, call 763-231-2803 or visit northmetrotv.com.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to the Youth Intervention Journal. I'm now joined by Bonita Carlson, the Youth Services Manager for Family Pathways. And Bonita, thanks for being here, first of all, today.
Thank you.
It's nice to see you and nice to talk with you. And I'm interested in just learning about Family Pathways. Start by just kind of telling me about the organization, what you guys are all about.
All right. It's a great organization. We're going to be celebrating our 35th year this year in business. We have thrift stores, about 9 of them now. And they are really the support for all our programming. People that donate items to the thrift stores and shop at our thrift stores really are our supporters. And we're in 10 different communities, well, 9 now. But, and then from there we go into the youth programming, senior programming, and our basic life services, which is basically our food shelves. And we have 9 of those also. We have 14 centers in Forest Lake, North Branch, Mora, and Princeton. And then we have the Circle of Friends program, which is a very unique mentoring program for special needs kids. It uses peer mentors from their high schools, and it forms friendships. It's very neat. And then we have your typical Kids First mentoring program, like Big Brother, Big Sister. That's mostly in the Mora area. And then we have our new project that we're really excited about, the Career Development Project. And that is taking kids that are in low-income situations and finding out what their passion is. We do this through assessments. We use the Search Institute's Sparks, Igniting Sparks curriculum. And we just find out what they're interested in doing and then match them up with the mentor. And that helps them decide, is that a career that they really want to go into or not? So
I heard you mention a few different times in their mentoring. It seems like you have found that some one-on-one and some of that mentoring connection really is helping youth.
It really does. Like Paul said earlier, it is connecting that youth with an adult that cares. They don't always get that from their parents or their grandparents. Sometimes it's a teacher, sometimes it's the coach, sometimes it's staff at our teen centers, and sometimes it's our volunteers. We had over 100 volunteers give many, many hours of time just in youth services last year, over 4,000 hours. So it's really important that we connect them up with an adult.
And I know you don't just work with youth, but how many people do you serve in a year? How many of the, or, approximately, and how many of those are, in the youth area? How many would you say that you work with?
Well, last year we worked with over 1,000 youth.
Wow.
Yeah, and in our food shelves we gave out 1.7 million pounds of food. So that is a lot of families. I mean, just in the Cambridge area, that's our busiest food shelf there. We serviced over 500 families.
Wow.
So it's a big need out there. To tell you how many people we worked with, it's hundreds.
Hard to put, yeah.
It's hundreds and hundreds, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And with the youth that you work with, how do they come to work with you? Do you have connections, relationships with school districts? How do the youth work with you?
Well, like in the Circle of Friends, we started that program through support groups for parents that had special needs kids. So we do work with special ed departments in the schools. Megan is now working with the career counselors, guidance counselors at the schools for the Career Development Project. And our teen centers, we make them fun. We have computer labs, pool tables, ping pong tables, you know, that sort of thing, crafts, computer labs, everything in there that kids want to get drawn to. And so once they come in, then we start getting to know them, start a relationship with them. The volunteers start working with them. So, yeah.
Why have you personally been drawn to this type of work, and what is it about Family Pathways that you know, ignites your passion for this type of work?
Well, I've been with Family Pathways for about 13 years now, and it's ever growing. It's just always changing. It's just fun. It meets my personality needs as far as it's never boring. You know, there's new kids every year that come in, and they graduate, and then we get more kids coming in, because we work with kids from 7 to 21 through all our different programming and stuff. So it's just exciting just to see the youth blossom and grow and develop assets, and like Paul was saying earlier too, become contributing members of society. That's what we're all about, to have them thrive.
And I know you said that people can support you simply by shopping at your thrift stores and donate. Are there other ways that community members can come alongside Family Pathways, whether it be volunteering, financial donations? How can people help?
Any kind of volunteering, financial donations. We don't rely on our stores to pay all our bills, so we do apply for grants, and we have individual donors give money to us. Even donating a popcorn machine or baseball equipment, softball equipment, you know, things that we can have things to play with the kids at, you know, it all helps.
Is some of that information available on your website for people to go and learn more about that?
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. We have a website, familypathways.org, and it is packed with calendars. The teen centers have monthly calendars. Everything is on there, how to donate, how to volunteer, everything.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, that sounds just great. Thank you for giving us kind of an overview and a look at your programs. It's really been great to learn more about Family Pathways. When we come back, we're going to continue our discussion about Family Pathways and talk more about that career development project that you were mentioning. So stay with us here on the Youth Intervention Journal.
In the event of a car crash, 3 out of 4 kids are not as secure as they should be because their car seats are not used correctly. But the latch system makes it easier to get it right and to hold your kids tight. Anchor, tether, latch. Learn more at safercar.gov.
My name is Anita Wardlaw. I love to ride horses. I have an awesome husband and son. I direct a mercy ministry for my church and sing. And I make my own TV shows for free at North Metro TV.
Get started by signing up for free TV production classes at 763-231-2803 or eric@northmetrotv.com.
Severe weather can destroy a home in seconds. There's no time to think, only time to act. Have a kit so you're ready for any emergency. Develop a plan for what you and your family will do before disaster strikes. And stay informed during severe weather any way you can. It can be the difference between losing your possessions and losing your life. Just ask the owners of this house. Visit weather.com/ready and let the Weather Channel help you prepare your family for emergencies.
Hi, my name's CJ. A few years ago, my father became seriously ill. I did what I could do before he passed, but it took its toll. I lost my job, my house. I'm getting back on my feet, but I don't know when there'll be food on the table. How'd I do, CJ?
We could be twins.
Well, cousins, maybe.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Welcome back to the Youth Intervention Journal. I'm Ben Hale, and I'm joined now by Megan Petrie and Larissa Johnson Megan is a youth services coordinator with Family Pathways, and Larissa has been working with Family Pathways as a youth, and it's great to have you both here and to learn more about something that Bonita had mentioned last segment about the career development project. And Megan, I just kind of want you to tell us what it's all about. Tell us what this project is and what you're hoping to do with it.
Definitely. Thank you for having us here. The Career Development Project basically is a project that will help, it helps every student in the community, in the Forest Lake community, and we've just started also doing it in other communities. It started in Princeton, and then it's kind of developed into a program in other teen centers as well. So we just help teens in the community find jobs. I'll help them apply for jobs, give them interviewing skills, help them prepare for their ACT once they start getting into that stage of prepping for college, and also take them through career assessments that they're able to figure out what their spark or what their passion is through these assessments.
And what are some outcomes that you've seen from the program so far? What are benefits you've seen to the youth?
A lot of students don't come in with a plan at all. Many of them come in and they have no idea what they want to do after high school. And after completing the program and going through assessments with me and talking with me and just getting that one-on-one time with them, they actually have a plan. They're going to college. I have 2 students now that have graduated. One of them is going off to Century College, and then the other one is going to a college out in Idaho for heavy machinery. And so both of them maybe had like somewhat of an idea, but then once they started going through the assessments and actually learning how to fill out a financial aid form and things like that, they've been able to have a more concrete plan after they go off.
And it sounds like some of this is that you're really meeting some of the basic needs for planning for the future of one's life.
Definitely.
Okay. Larissa, I just kind of want you to tell us a little bit about how you've been involved with Family Pathways, and tell us a little bit about your story.
Sure. Well, when I started out in Family Pathways, I found out about it through a different career program where I was trying to find a job, but I didn't have many interviewing skills, and I found out about this program. So I came in and I did a few assessments, and I started figuring out what kind of job I'd like to do, and now I've got a job at Dairy Queen, and it's like the best job ever. I also do some volunteering at the Family Pathways, like I'll help move boxes and Christmas decorations and that kind of thing, and it's really fun. You get to know a lot of the people, so I have at least 5 different new friends now since being at Family Pathways.
That's great. What are some, when you think about learning those interviewing skills and learning how to go about applying for jobs and get jobs, what are some things that you felt really were helpful to you from this project and from Family Pathways? What are things that they taught you?
Well, as far as the project goes, you learn a lot of patience and flexibility when it comes to that, which is good things to have when you're interviewing. You learn how to talk with interviewers, like you have to show interest in the job and that kind of thing. And you learn a lot of patience, definitely, in the program. And would you suggest this program to other students that are, kind of looking for help in this area? Have you found it worthwhile and something that you would suggest other people come and learn about and check out as well? Yeah, I definitely would. You learn a lot about what kind of strengths you have in jobs, what your interest might be, different colleges you could be interested, different jobs especially. They're really good for finding jobs, I've noticed.
Great. And Megan, just as Larissa mentioned, it sounds like she's not only learning some of those job skills and interviewing skills, she's also making new friends through Family Pathways, and she's also getting kind of connected to a bigger community. And is that also part of your goals?
Definitely. It's good to be able to get them to network with other people, and also networking within Family Pathways. I mean, helping out with the thrift store, she's been a wonderful volunteer. Anytime that I've taken students to volunteer over there, just to give them work experience, it's always good to give them new experiences and to meet new people and give them that chance to have people see that part of students and even see that part of the teens at Family Pathways. And if someone wants to get involved with the Career Development Project, either a youth that wants to get involved or maybe business community people that want to see if there's something that they can do to help with this, what should they do? They can go to familypathways.org and go under Youth Services, and you'll be able to find information on the Career Development Project, and then my name and number will be there, as well as my email.
Okay. And is this project, it seems like it definitely seems like it's a passion for you, and is what about this, has really, driven that passion for you to, it seems like you want to make this a successful project, and obviously we're seeing success already.
I do. what really motivates me is seeing the teens that come in who have no plan, don't have support from home, and I want to be that support for them, and I want to be someone that is a positive influence in their life. And so through this, I've just seen so many students transform from these shy teens, these teens that want nothing to do with the program at all, and all of a sudden they're just like, oh, I think I, would love to do this as a career, or I would love to get a job and help out my family. Because a lot of them, some of them come from families that they just want to help their family pay bills, or they want to help themselves too.
Okay. And Larissa, would you say that kind of what Megan was just saying, that how this can really have a positive impact on your outlook and a positive impact on your life from coming in and not really having a plan to having a positive plan? Would you say that's true in your circumstances as well?
I definitely would. I mean, when I came into the program, I was definitely really shy. I didn't have a lot of networking abilities, but through the program, I've learned how to talk with more people, and I've got a job. I've got lots more friends than I had before, and it's been a great experience for me.
Well, we're going to leave it there. I want to thank you both for coming in today and sharing with us about this career development program at Family Pathways. It was great to hear your story, Larissa, and
yes.
Megan, thanks for sharing with us
Thank you for having
all
us.
the work that you're doing. I also want to thank Bonita Carlson for being here, and Paul Manier as well. Remember, you can watch any program here on North Metro TV right on our website. If you missed a portion of this, that's just northmetrotv.com. You can head to that and learn more about any of our programming here. I've been your host, Ben Hale, and I want to thank you for watching.